Welcome to the Real Bible Discussion Group, meeting moderator FloeRich from Nigeria.
As far as moderating the discussion itself, when people are talking and discussing and going around, as you know, we try to remain unbiased. We don't take any sides. We don't preach any particular doctrine. We're not here representing either the Catholic or the evangelical. We're here for all, and we try to be unbiased as administrators and moderators. And that is my next question to you. How do you manage to be unbiased when you see a post there that is totally contradicts what you believe, but it's not breaking any rules, but yet you have to work on that post? How do you deal with that and reconcile that with your own belief?
Okay. How I deal with it, it actually starts from you approving it in the first place. When I approve it from probably I'm opportune to approve it. I know I don't agree with it, but I have to approve it. So when I approve such posts, I know, okay, this post will bring lots of discussion because, of course, we know posts that can actually do very well. People want to comment on. The moment I approve it, I go to the post and then watch how people respond to it. Because I know, of course, this might bring a lot of controversy, and in a quest of being unbiased, just like you rightfully said, I will just watch because, of course, you there was a time there are things that you see that actually contradicts the thing, and then you can't remove such posts because if you remove it, you're actually removing everything that has to do with
Right.
you're taking the whole thing out of the post. So you leave it there, and then sometimes what I do is I secretly just text these people, if their messengers are open. I text them and be like, you're actually violating a particular rule, or you are violating multiple rules, and you have to either bring this thing down, or I suspend you without actually removing your post, your comments,
Right. Because you
without
don't want to
actually
remove a
removing your
post that
comments.
has comments.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, because it's
yeah,
disrespectful to the audience who are participating, taking their time. So
yeah,
we do everything we
yeah,
can not to remove a post. Yep, I understand your
yeah,
point.
yeah.
So with that in mind, um, you know how just people can get very, very passionate about they post and the subject, and we see a lot of our argumentations in the group, and sometimes escalates to a point where they go at each other, they get really mad at each other, and they start
Yeah.
cursing, they start telling the other people, you're not a Christian, you're a Christian, this and that. uh, Sadly, I don't know if you know, here in America we had uh, a case of assassination yesterday of Charlie Kirk, which
Yeah,
is
yeah, I
a,
heard about it. Yeah,
right. He's a right
solid, solid.
wing
Mm,
activist, and he defends certain things that a lot of people like and a lot of people do not like.
yeah,
And I tell everybody, if you can't handle disagreement, it's best to stay out
mm,
of these things, because so bad things, these things can turn violent. And we see this all the time in our group, right? We see people
yeah,
mad at
yeah.
each other, cursing at each other. So as a moderator,
Okay.
when you see that
Mm.
situation, how do you bring peace together to the conversation? What's your technique? What do you do? How do you approach people?
How I do it is, there are laid down rules already. So the moment you are violating it, the best thing to do in such situation is either look at between the two persons that are actually having the conflict, or probably two or three persons involved. You know who is actually the troublemaker. There's a way to just decipher that, yes, this particular person is actually the troublemaker. So what I do is suspend that particular person causing the trouble without necessarily removing his or her comment. So when I suspend them, maybe for 3 days or for some hours, you know to end, they won't make such comments again. And then, even without me removing it, I can always defend myself that yes, even if he or she goes to the point of reporting, the group, we can always defend it by showing
Mm-hmm.
Facebook that see, this is the evidence of this person being or actually violating a rule or a set of rules, and this is why he was suspended. So the evidence is always there. That's basically how I saw. But
You're able
when I
to
did
see
that,
the conversation and sort through. Sorry to
yeah,
cut you up, and
yeah,
then make an informed decision and a fair decision. I see. Well, yeah,
that's
that's a
that's
good approach. Um,
mm,
so tell us, uh, new things. Have you learned any new things in the Real Bible Discussion Group since you've been a member and a moderator of this group? What new
wow,
things have you
wow.
learned?
It has been so much. I've learned so much. Just by scrolling through the group. Sometimes I know the Bible, but when I meet I see some comments, and I meet some people. Sometimes they try to drive their point to the extent that they even come to my inbox and send me messages, try to prove their point without necessarily proving it in the
Right,
comment section. They will come and prove it and try to explain to me and offer to, explain. So I learned so much. I've met quite a number of friends there, that just want to discuss the scriptures with me. They want to,
right.
discuss things with me. And then, it has just been fun, being in the group.
Yeah.
I've learned so much. I've learned
That's
so
good,
much.
good to hear. That's the idea. That's the aim of the group. The reason why I asked the question
Yeah.
is because people don't realize how much they learn, myself included, while in the group
Yeah.
debating, discussing with other people, trying to put your point across. You're actually learning with other people all the time,
Yeah.
every day. I go in the group. There's some different that I haven't heard before. Some scholars in there. We have some preachers, pastors, with Catholics, we
That's
have Muslims, and there's a variety of information. If you open your mind to it, you will be much better off in theology and in the Christian faith, in terms of knowledge that you were before. So it's a great source for people to learn,
yes.
and get closer to God and learn different things, different
Yeah.
denominations, interact with different Christians, and
Yeah.
it's a good thing. Um, so my last question on that subject to you is this: what advice do you have to give to someone now that you are moderator and you see the behind the scenes of a how it is to run a Facebook group with 1 million
Yeah.
people? What's your advice to the person who wants to start off a ministry online with a group like that? What's how do you get going? What's your best advice now that you've seen the behind the scenes of a group?
Well, what I will advise is, they just have to, start small. You get to learn new things every day.
Mm-hmm.
We as moderators are not done learning what we're supposed to. We're not done learning. We still have a lot to learn from the group. You think you know everything until when some posts come and you are to moderate it, you see new things. So what the advice I will give to somebody who is starting off is start off with the little number you have. Try to see how you can deal with them with that little number, and then as you're growing with that little number, you learn new things that will help you, do bigger and better things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good advice.
that's it.
Thanks for sharing that. On this last second part of this interview, the last question I have for this topic to you, um, you gave your advice, and what is the advice you give to the person who's looking to start a Facebook group? You said
Yeah.
it. Um, one message you have for the members that you wish they could hear you, uh, in terms of you moderator sending them a
Mm,
message to the members, things like,
mm.
okay, if you act this way, your posts always get approved. What are you looking for? What would you wish the members knew about your work that you do in the group, because they don't see
Keep your
most of the work?
point. Oh, thank you. Yeah, keep your points within 100 words range. If you can keep your points, if you can make a point within the 100 words range, if you can keep it and make it, including and inscribing scriptures into it, and make sure that every point you're making has a Bible reference to it. If you're asking a question, if you're trying to, make a point or say something regarding maybe the Trinity or the Sabbath, or you're trying to make any point that you think everybody needs to know, just make the points within that 100 words range, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure you inscribe a scripture reference to it. That will help us, go through it easily and then approve it as we ought to.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, that's a good point. I think people would love to hear that from a moderator. They don't really get the opportunity. We usually
Yeah,
get a lot of angry comments sent to our private message all the time, saying because they think we wake up in the morning. Today I'm going to decline as many posts as I can. That's what I get the
yeah,
impression sometimes, and I'm sure you
yeah.
get messages like that. When the reality
Of course,
is, we're just working in the group and trying our best. But thank you so much for sharing.